what investigators called Honeygate. Thanks to this
Honeygate?
laundering scheme...
Is this for real? Is this for real? People really talking about Honeygate, bro. Is this 2025? This for real? I'm in the right universe, right? I'm in the right timeline. What's up? We're watching another video today by the young man known as the Business Circle. And it's about the $8 billion Honey Bear scam. With that being said, if y'all are interested in this, let's lock in and let's watch. I want to find out why were these honey bears not real? And they cost $8 billion. Well, let's see. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And let's get into it. We got some popcorn.
You've probably
Ooh.
bought this, squeezed it on your toast, fed it to your kids. But
Yeah.
what if I told you this isn't honey? What I discovered investigating this company will piss you off. Hidden lawsuits, million-dollar bribes to change regulations, and a corporate machine that's destroyed entire beekeeping families. Also, you keep buying an exported syrup disguised as pure honey.
I understand.
It's not honey?
It all starts with this company, Sue Bee Honey. The brand launched in 1960, but it comes from a cooperative that 5 beekeepers in Iowa started back in 1921. Just farmers who wanted to sell honey together. For decades, Sue Bee meant one thing: pure, natural American honey you could trust. Today, they own a big part of the entire US honey market. 5 out of 10 American families have this bottle in their kitchen.
5 out of 10?
I had it in mind. But somewhere between that wholesome farming cooperative and today, Sue Bee turned into something else entirely. Their numbers are mathematically impossible.
Local grown honey, a lot of this.
Let me explain
Or like
this.
agave.
Sue Bee sells 60 million pounds of honey every year, but their own beekeepers only produce 35 million pounds. So
what
where
is
does
it?
the rest come from? The answer they give is that the honey is imported, but there's no country of origin,
Imported?
no traceability, no clues about
From
where
where?
this honey really comes from. And that's a huge red flag, because when it comes to quality food, knowing the origin is everything. Just imagine buying a bottle of wine that only says imported wine on the label, or a bottle of olive oil with
A lot of
no
people
men-
buying wine don't care. A lot of people buying wine, they don't care. They're just like, I like wine. Is it good wine? All right, put it in. Because it's alcohol anyways, right? It's not like... Well, wine is a bit different, I feel. As far as like the health benefits of wine, they definitely rival... Or they're definitely making a case as far as like the health benefits of wine. In comparison to other alcoholic drinks. But... still an alcoholic drink, so they're probably not that concerned. Unless they're like a connoisseur. Or what is this, sommelier? Is that what a wine connoisseur is? Hold on, do I know my stuff? Is that it? Can somebody check that? Put it in chat. Sommelier.
of Italy, Greece or Spain. Would you trust that?
No.
This lack of transparency is just the beginning of the problems with Sue Bee. And then there's the price. Local honey costs $10 to $15 per pound.
Yeah.
Sue Bee costs around $4. How do you sell honey cheaper than local producers while importing it from overseas? But here's what really
You
bothered
lie?
me. I bought Sue Bee in January and August. Same perfect golden colour, same smooth texture, same taste. And I know the difference. My dad's literally a beekeeper. I grew up around real honey. Real honey changes with the seasons. Spring honey is light and floral, fall honey is dark and robust. Real honey crystallizes over time. Something was off. The math didn't work. The price made no sense, and that perfect consistency, impossible for real honey.
They got additives
So I
in
bought a
there?
fresh bottle and sent it to my brother who works at a lab. The results came back a week
Works
later,
in a honey
and
lab?
what I discovered changed everything I thought I knew about the food industry. I already knew it wasn't going to be good. That there would be some cheap, low-quality ingredients, maybe a generic filler typical of store brands. But the truth was way worse than I expected. The honey contains
What is it?
synthetic sugars, rice syrup, and corn syrup. These
Okay.
additives, especially rice syrup, are the most commonly used in honey adulteration because they're cheap and hard to detect in lab tests. But
Okay.
that wasn't even the worst part. It also contains glyphosate, the active ingredient
Well, it contains
in the
what?
worst part. It also contains glyphosate, the
Glyphosate?
active
What's that?
ingredient in the herbicide Roundup. This compound was designed for one purpose: to kill
kill?
plants. And now it's in the honey you're feeding your kids.
Whoa.
Glyphosate is also a pesticide that has faced heavy criticism.
Whoa.
According to the International Agency for Research on Cancer, IARC,
Whoa. That's crazy, bro.
it
What?
is classified as probably
Whoa, that's insane, bro. Ain't no way, bro. What?
carcinogenic to humans. This is not something you'd expect to find in a product that's marketed as natural and healthy. And I'm not the only one who noticed. When I started looking into it online, I found hundreds of people questioning all of this. But the most telling thing was what they didn't find. Pollen. Almost zero detectable pollen.
What the hell?
Now,
No
here's why
pollen in
that
the honey?
matters. Pollen in honey is like a fingerprint. Every region has unique plants with unique pollen. Scientists can analyze honey pollen and tell you exactly where it came from. It's so precise, they can distinguish between Northern Carolina honey and Southern Carolina honey.
That's
But
crazy.
Sous Bee has been ultra-filtered, an industrial process that removes every single grain of pollen. Sous Bee claims that this process makes the honey purer and more appealing to consumers. But here's the problem. Pollen doesn't affect the flavor or texture of honey. In fact, pollen
It actually helps fight bacteria, wouldn't it?
provides
And like it provide like some kind of like an adjustment to the honey so that like people's allergies don't get worse around that honey, especially like the local honey, because that's been a thing from what I recovered from like different research and stuff, because I was like super allergic to honey, and like one of the things that I found out was like, yeah, yo, like whatever the type of honey is in like your area, the type of plants that produce that pollen, if you consume that honey, it lessens your allergic reaction to the like native pollens, which is pretty cool. I imagine
Nutrients.
he's probably about to say
and
this.
is a key sign of authenticity. So, if removing
He
the
didn't say
pollen
that at
doesn't
all,
improve
but I think
the-
that's what the
it is a
text said. Lower toxicity, nutrients, proteins, antioxidants. Yeah. Well, antibacterial effect. Oh, so the inverted sugar can restrict the antibacterial properties. Ooh.
key
Sound
sign
good.
of authenticity. So, if removing the pollen doesn't improve the honey in any way, why do they do it? As we saw in chapter 1, they are doing
Just to make it
everything
look good.
possible to hide the true origin of their honey. So, I decided to dig deeper, and what we've uncovered so far is just the tip of the iceberg. China produces cheap, honey-like syrup in
Was that one country? Is that administrative, like, debt-free state of China? Is that the flag for that? Am I tripping? Macau? Is that
China
what it's called?
produces cheap, honey-like syrup in massive factories. But since 2001, Chinese honey has been banned or heavily taxed in the US due to contamination and unfair trade practices. So, they got creative. Chinese exporters started shipping their fake honey to countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, and India first.
And
Then,
covering it
those
up,
countries
filtering it into
re-exported to
America.
the US, labeled as Vietnamese honey or Malaysian honey. This trick is known as honey laundering. And
Honey
Sous Bee
laundering? Oh, that's hilarious. My boy said honey laundering. He's not wrong, though. That's hilarious. Oh, man, I love this channel, man. I'm so glad I subscribed. Oh, man, this is going to be funny as hell. I can tell.
has been buying this laundered honey for
Honey
years.
laundering.
This has already been exposed by
man.
major media outlets. Bloomberg called it the Great Honey Laundering Scandal. The New York Times uncovered the fake export routes, and Food Safety News has been tracking this fraud for over a decade. In 2013, something big happened. The company that owns Subi, CO Honey Association, was named as one of the biggest buyers in what investigators called Honeygate. Thanks to this
Honeygate?
laundering scheme,
Is this for real? Is this for real? People really talking about Honeygate, bro. Is this 2025? This for real? I'm in the right universe, right? I'm in the right timeline. Honeygate. That's crazy.
the company
boy.
and other ones avoided paying over $100 million in import tariffs. But the accusations didn't stop there. Subi is facing something even more serious. Since 2016, Subi has faced multiple
got some
class action
vegetable juice,
lawsuits.
too.
Consumers have accused the company of something serious, selling products labelled as 100% pure honey that, according to lab results,
cap.
may not actually be honey at all. You've already seen what was inside those bottles.
That's like the McDonald's thing where they classify a cheese as not really a cheese, but it's like a cheese product. That's what they say. It's like a cheese product, but it doesn't even have to be real cheese. It can just be a small percentage of cheese and a bunch of chemicals, and they can call it a cheese product, which is crazy.
In
I think I wrote about that in one of my books, actually. Did I? I don't think I explicitly mentioned it, but I think the research was there. I just didn't explicitly mention that part.
2018, a federal court allowed one of
crazy.
these lawsuits to proceed, noting that Subi's marketing claims could be considered misleading. Although the company ultimately won the case, the details of how they succeeded remain unclear. The available information is limited and highly technical. But to be honest, something about that ruling just doesn't add up. You know what I mean? Of course, that's just my personal opinion. In any case, the most troubling part of this entire story isn't the fake honey, or the questionable import routes, or even the scale of the fraud. What's truly heartbreaking is that real beekeepers are the ones who suffer the most.
Why is that?
Since the year 2000,
they're not
the
getting
United
employed
States has
and
lost
they're not,
over 30% of its commercial
buying their
beekeepers. Family-run operations
That's
that
like
had
his
existed
family. His family might be affected by this. It's probably
for
his close to
generations
home for him.
have been disappearing, unable to survive
For
in a
you,
market
brother,
flooded with
if
cheap,
you're watching this.
heavily processed honey. My father witnessed this up close. Obviously, he was a beekeeper and he knew beekeepers as well. People who had dedicated their entire lives to
Was.
this craft, who were forced to shut down their hives. They simply couldn't compete with a product that was both cheaper and fake. And this is still happening right now. And worst of all, it's completely legal. As you watch this video, fake honey continues to
I'm not
appear
buying
on
any more
US
Subi
supermarket
honey,
shelves.
bro.
Real beekeepers continue to lose their businesses,
when was this
and
made?
companies like Subi continue these
1
practices
month ago. Yeah,
without
I'm not buying
consequence.
any.
Here's the hard truth. I bought that honey,
Subi.
and chances are, so did you. Without realizing it, we are all contributing to an $8 billion fraud.
Yeah.
So I want to end this video with 2 final messages.
Hey, now that
First,
I know though,
If you have the
I
chance
can
to buy
easily
real
buy
honey,
different honey. I don't
do
even
it.
really buy that honey anyways, but now I know at least like if I did just want to cheap out one day and pick up some honey, I know the cost of that honey. I just won't buy it.
support real beekeepers. And second,
Support local
subscribe
bees.
to the channel. I've got more videos
Yeah, I'll
just like
subscribe,
this.
bro.
So
100%.
go check them out. Cheers.
This reminds me of like the How Money Works channel, but it's like a little bit better. Not a little bit better, but like I feel like it's a little bit more grounded. The How Money Works channel is interesting. Like I appreciate you guys' work, but I feel like this one is like it takes a zoomed in scope of a lot of like stories. How your gender became a marketing scam. I could do that. I could easily watch this one next, honestly. That's why like a bunch of like female and female presenting marketing and things like that. I'm associated with stuff like that because I do for my book marketing. I do enlist the help of beautiful women because people like to buy things from beautiful women, and especially when it's a good product, I'm just like, you know what? Why not enlist the best help I can get to help sell it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's obviously a very real thing. I'll go ahead and like this video, but for that, we're probably gonna watch this one right after, actually. But actually, not right after. I gotta go collect some money from someone real quick. But go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, And that's gonna be it. I'll see you later. Leave a comment if you guys support real bees. If you got Sue Bee honey, don't comment. I'm just kidding. Catch you guys later. Bye.